Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Time to be ready for a Hat in Time as run by Enhu and Doka on commentary. Let's make some noise, get some emotes out in chat. Here they come. Here is a Hat in Time.
Gotta delete everything. Shouldn't have a notification. What?
Enhu and Doka, take it away.
Alright, what's up, guys?
Alright. What's up? This is Hat, 3D platformer collectathon, inspired by games like it in the past, the like GameCube era, like Mario Sunshine and games like Banjo-Kazooie. This is going to be the all timepieces category, where we collect all 40 timepieces from the base game. I should have specified this is base game. So
yeah, this
all
is
40 of the timepieces that released with the game.
This is base levels. Actually, it's not base game because we actually remember
we
like a month ago. But yeah, originally this run was done in 1.0, the first version of the game. But as time went on, they released 2 DLCs that have a couple more timepieces. Now it's 56 total. But we rename it to base levels because we are allowed to use patch 2.1, which is currently the fastest one for this category as well. So yeah. That will be the little introduction. If aware of the DLCs, I'm doing like we're just gonna do like only the I'm just gonna do only the base game stuff. And yeah, I think that's all the introduction I have to do for now.
Nothing more from me. Should be good to go.
So it should be good to go. So are we ready on time to start a timer?
We are ready. Go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this game is, as probably a couple people in the chat know, it's pretty rapid-fire in the beginning. That's why me and Doug have decided to introduce a little bit of it really quickly.
Yeah, so to start here, going into the first level, Welcome to Mafia Town, instead of going the way that the game wants us to, we're instead going to immediately turn around and go grab a chest and then another yarn. The chest has a yarn in it, and we need these 2 yarn to craft the sprint hat, which is an essential tool for the entire run, since it allows us to not only move fast, but unlocks a lot of movement tech options for us to use. We're also grabbing these 5 pawns because we need them to buy the next level of the game. She came from outer space.
That was a good bong indeed. Okay, so one of the first things that we need to mention about this patch is that this emote is very, very broken.
Yeah, the boop emote,
you guys can see here,
you'll see heavy use throughout the rest of the run. It's very broken. You'll also see, coming up in this level, use of one of the most broken mechanics in this game that was actually discovered kind of lag clipping, where if you lag right before you grab a ledge, you will just completely clip through it, and you can use this to clip through almost anything in the game. And we'll be doing this to actually get an ice yarn, which we'll need for the ice hat, and we'll next 2 levels, because we need it for a trick that saves an immense amount of time, which is a quick kill on a boss.
Yeah, so that was how do we explain this pretty quickly? Like, originally this game is very notorious for having a lot of lag techniques. So recently someone from the community, shout outs to Dusty's username, made a tool that basically standardizes all kinds of lag in the game. So people with good computers, people with bad computers have the same like lag or like fairness now, instead of like in the past.
Yeah, it was a huge problem before, but now we don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, so I think now would be a good time to explain some of the differences between 90% in this route. So a lot of the routes we take for the levels are the same, but slight deviations to get more pawns, the relics which we need to unlock the purple time rift levels for each chapter. And we need yarn for the hats, and we need pawns to buy the relic pads and Oh, you missed it.
Yeah, I just realized that was any person muscle memory.
Okay, yeah, we need that for the.
That was any person muscle memory. Okay, I did it.
Yeah. So this category has a lot more emphasis on the actual collectathon aspect of this game, whereas in any percent you really don't have to collect that much aside from the hats. Which in this category we still need all the hats except for time stop hat for our run.
So yeah, we're supposed to collect 9 yards like Doka said before. In this case, because we are gonna do down with the Mafia early for the quick kill. Also, I just did I did a mistake that I'm pretty well known in the community for doing it, and like people renamed the mistake on my name.
The Menhu.
The Menhu. So every time someone does a bad menuing, someone says they Menhu. So yeah, that happens.
Yeah, some viewers who are maybe familiar with this game may notice that we didn't do the lab early route. But the reason we do that is because it's actually not faster for ATP. And the reason for that being is that you'll have to make another trip back, so there's no reason to do it early. Because then you'd have to go there and backtrack all the way out if you didn't do the rift, which is really slow. So it's just not worth it to do it in this category.
So there we have the worst yarn in the game.
Actually the worst yarn in the game.
So I think we didn't mention why we're collecting all these little presents. Those are relics, and we need them to actually craft them in the relic pads in the spaceship to actually unlock. Was it 4 purple rifts? I already forgot.
Yeah, 4 purple rifts per chapter. I did mention it.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't mention that we need 12 total. 11 in world, and then the 1 from Cooking Cat. Yeah, now's a good time to say that the reason we did outer space first and got the pawns was because we got all the yarns to craft the brewer hat, which not only do we need to get a lot of the collectibles in this level, but it also speeds up this fight greatly. So it's important to have that all by this point, which is why we need it.
Basically that. So I think, well, this is an auto-scroller. We're just gonna be here for like a minute, just doing nothing. So I think it's maybe a good opportunity to explain what the speed text I have been doing are. Do you think, Doka?
Yeah. The main fastest form of movement in your base kit is dive boosting, which a lot of people probably already know about, but it's where you dive and then hit the dive button again right as you hit the floor. It's the fastest form of movement. And with the sprint hat, there are also 3 main movement texts. The sprint double jump, where you release the sprint button and then jump a frame later, which lets you keep your double jump with sprint speed. The double sprint jump, which lets you do 2 sprint jumps for more speed and height if you need it. And then the triple sprint jump, which is a version of the DSJ, which gives you the most height. So you just have to assess what you need. Situation, like you need speed, distance, or height. You just make decisions based on that.
Alright, so here we are accessing one of the first levels with like a ton of RNG. This is like probably the first one, I think. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This game has a lot of RNG in it.
Yeah, especially in longer categories like ITP stuff.
Yeah, you just gotta. You can get a little double hit on those guys if you have the right position. Unfortunately, didn't get it.
Yeah, I wasn't too much left enough. And
coming up here is another use of lag in this run. Lag is a really big theme in this run. There are a lot of lag tricks. What's going to happen is, Enhu's going to do a dive boost on this button that opens the gate, and if you lag the game just right, you can get under the gate before it actually closes. And what that does, it tells the gate that, oh, you're under this, so it actually stays open so that you don't get soft locked behind it. Funny, they actually added that in. You used to be able to get soft locked behind that gate.
yeah, you used to be able to get soft lock, but now thanks to that, we can actually skip this.
Yeah, you're expected to go into bucket and put it on the button, but just lag.
And
it's a common theme in this game.
Here's also another skip, which is called Fight Skip. You're supposed to go there and actually fight 2 mafias to basically get into the fight, but you can just get over it by going above the trigger, by doing those wall climbs and like views of basically the door frames that are on the left. Alright,
So this is Mafia Boss. Fan favorite for RNG. The amount of sandbags and yells that he does is completely random, ranging from 2 sandbags, which is the best, to 4, which is the worst. And there's like a 15-second difference between the two. Not a fun level. There's not really much to the fight other than doing the quick kill, which will be coming up soon, which is why he is crafting the ice hat right now. So the idea behind this quick kill is actually stems from an old trick we had in 1.0 where you held the brewer and he knocked you into him when he did his Mafia Ball attack and it knocked him off the ball. Well, they patched it and he no longer has collision anymore, but to get around this, we can use the ice hat to downward momentum, which cancels out all other momentum to get in the same spot and knock him off the ball like we used to. So there's that, and he's falling out of bounds and he just hits a death plane and dies. Goodbye.
Yeah, that quick kill used to be basically free, because all you had to do was basically stand on the right, just hold the brewer head, and he will die.
Yeah, now it's a bit trickier to perform.
And that's a bit tricky to perform, but it's still nothing extremely complicated.
So another thing to mention in this next level, so next level we're going to be doing is Golden Vault. And some viewers may also know that there used to be a strat in this level where we duplicated the tickets by taking damage. Well, that has also been patched, so we actually have to grab all 4 tickets now.
Yeah, we have to grab all 4 tickets, and it's also good because we can grab some extra yarns here. Like being a 1.0, I prefer this route over the route, but the trick was pretty cool. This route is pretty fun.
This route takes a lot of advantage of momentum dive boost, sliding, and ice hat slingshots. Another reason you need the ice hat to actually come up here. You actually want it for this level as well, or else you would not be able to get up fast at all. You just have to climb all the way back up. With the ice hat, you can just use the ice platform. And right here, Enhu took advantage of the mechanic with the ice hat, where if you use it on a steep enough slope, you'll actually get an immense amount of speed. It's actually the fastest form of movement in the game, solo. And you'll see a lot more uses of that in this category than in any percent.
Do we have a quick moment for a donation?
Yes, go ahead.
So we have a $50 donation from Hat Attack, and says he is one of the lucky people still to be working. There's a lot of people out there that need this more than him. Thank you guys for what you are doing, and Attack for the $50 donation. Folks, we are getting so close to $1,500. Get those donations in. Help us get over that $1,500. We are so close. Hat Attack's donation went towards the Silent Hill dog ending, so get it in there. Get in there.
All right, so coming up is the first example of a time rift. Very short, platform-heavy levels based on the secret levels from Mario Sunshine. As you can see, there's a lot of inspiration, like the rotating blocks. Not really much to them. They're just really movement-heavy. Just comes down to making the fastest cycles. Which in this one you can, if you're fast enough, make it on the first set of 2 platforms, so you don't have to wait on the other set.
Yeah, the main difference compared...
Aside from the entrance.
Yeah. That was okay aside from the entrance, yeah. The main difference between these secret levels and the ones in Sunshine is that when you fall down, you don't automatically die.
Yeah. Makes them a lot more forgiving. So this level is really interesting. It takes advantage of a mechanic called safe spots, which is a value that gets updated when you're on quote-unquote solid ground. And you can actually manipulate these safe spots into working in your favor by either one frame jumping like Enhu just did off of that roof, or going on things that don't set your safe spot. And why this is useful is if you get stuck in a certain spot for long enough, the game will actually teleport you back to your last safe spot, which you can manipulate to be pretty much always back at the start, which is really fast, so you don't have to backtrack between the faucets. See another example of that here. Like those trees and these platforms don't count as safe spots, so you're free to move on them. So when Enhu goes under this faucet, he gets quote-unquote stuck, and the game will teleport him back here. And right here's another example of the ice hat slide move. Go into the balloon to keep all your speed to get to this faucet. And then you die to go back to spawn, because you only have 1 health left, so... All the while grabbing relics. Here's another relic here. And chests don't count as a safe spot, so you're free to stand on them. So right here is another small use of the boop emote, where if you boop as you're going into this cannon, you'll actually be able to ledge grab out of it, which lets you get down to the ground under the timepiece platter earlier. Because normally the animation to shoot you up there would be really long, but you can just skip it with boop.
Yeah, there used to be more applications of the boop in the run, but thanks to lag button, a lot of those got cut out. But in general, boop's still very, very broken.
Yeah, it still has plenty of uses throughout the run, replaced by anything. Like you're about to see in the next level one of its most infamous and broken uses.
Do another quick donation here. We had a $20 anonymous donation come in here, and it says, dab on COVID-19, and I promise you I am dabbing. Even though you can't see me, I promise. We are having a dab session going on right now. Thank you for the donation.
Alright, I will dab on the timepiece for that. Even though even though you can't see me too, but I'm gonna dab.
Yeah, you can't see me, I just did a dab for y'all.
Awesome, there we go. Thanks all.
Yeah, this is another one of the timer levels. This one was actually interesting because this one was in the speedrun event beta, which a lot of people played before the game actually released. It was a contest that they held, which a lot of people partook in. Coming up next is going to be one of the most infamous uses of boop, in that we're going to meet this, we're supposed to at least,
we're supposed to, indeed.
Yeah, supposed to. There's a lot of things you're supposed to do in this game that we don't really do. You're supposed to meet this character called Snatcher in the Subcon Forest by getting trapped in his bag and waiting for a long cutscene. But if you use the boop emote while you're getting trapped in the bag, you just completely fall out of it in a completely glitched, invisible state where you can just run and jump. It's very easy to get stuck in this state. But the purpose of it is that what's happening right now is that Enhu's basically racing against the timer right now, because you're expected to wait in that bag for a prolonged amount of time, and then a cutscene plays. So while he's moving, this timer's ticking down, and he has to make it with this panning to this next cutscene right here on this tree, which actually overlaps the bag cutscene and makes it so it doesn't play. And if you don't make it in time, it's very costly to fail, because then you have to watch a 30-second cutscene.
Yeah, it loses a lot of time.
Other than that, he made it, so he actually just completely ignored Snatcher. You don't care about him. Oh no.
That's okay. I'm just gonna wait here.
And then there's a nifty little trick at the end here that you can do with the cherry, in which you actually use it to kill yourself into the timepiece. And what this does is it completely skips the timepiece animation and makes it so that you respawn at the beginning of the level. And because of this, the way this chapter is set up, you can actually just start going immediately to another level called the Subcon Well, since you don't actually need like its act in the telescope to do it. You can just go there and go inside the well and you'll get transported to it. So he got it. Now he's at the beginning of the level. And we're going to be burning some paintings.
Yep.
This is another important...
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is another important thing to do in the forest, because if you don't do this, you won't be able to access a lot of the other levels in the Subcon Forest. You need this for the time rifts, and you need it to be fast in one of the other levels.
I was actually gonna ask you this, Doka. Do you think we should I do the new Snatcher thing? Yes or no?
Yes, at least okay.
I'll try it. I will try it.
At least try to show it. If you fail it, then
I'll
don't
try it. I'll
bother.
try it.
You should try it. You should at least try it.
You absolutely should try.
Okay, I'll try it.
You're gonna love it if he gets it. It's a really fun trick to watch. Yeah. So now that we're in the subcon well, we go into this room and grab the hookshot, which is a necessary badge to actually completing the run. You need it for a lot of levels, and you need it to even get into Alpine, the 4th world of the game, so we do need to get this.
Yeah, we're also gonna grab a lot of pawns because this category needs quite a bit of pawns. So we don't want to miss many pawns, unlike any percent like Doka said before. So that's why I'm going out of my way to grab pawns sometimes.
Yeah, you really need to in this category, because if you end up poor at the end of the category, if you don't have enough pawns, you'll have to hit Roomby a ton to get however many left you need, which is very, very slow. Yeah, there's some neat movement in the wall. Just abusing the hookshot points to get up higher than you should and skip large sections of the level that you're supposed to climb up. And the next level we're gonna do interesting as well, because it's a level that pretty much everybody will do on keyboard and mouse, because the controls for this stage, the mail delivery stage where you basically go around on a scooter and shoot mail at guys, the controls are really bad on control, and it's just really slow in general. You still can do good on it, but pretty much everyone here switches to keyboard and mouse for this point of the game. That's a skill that's kind of a necessity if you want to play at top level in this game, is the ability to play well with both keyboard and controller. Because there are points where both are the faster control scheme to use at points. Like this is obviously faster to do on keyboard. And right now, we're getting the contract for the toilet boss. And this is actually a really useful contract. Not only do you need it to actually complete the level, but the spawn point's actually used to get to some of the other levels because it's really close to them. It's also the spawn point that is going to be used for the snatcher trick. You're gonna go for it?
Yes, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go for it. I'm gonna try to go for it once. If I don't get it, well, that's fine. But
okay,
we're gonna lose quite a bit of time if I don't get it.
It's worth a shot.
But I will try to go for it.
Okay then.
I was practicing it before, but hopefully I won't fail this.
Yeah. So what's about to happen will look very interesting to a viewer who doesn't really know what's about to happen, because it's about to get really crazy. So one really weird quirk of this game is that the item stacking is completely broken.
Okay, awesome.
And if you stack these cherries inside of each other in the absolute correct way, wait for it. Okay, he got it. Okay, so that happens. You just ascend into the heavens on cherries.
Okay.
Now what's actually happening there? Oh yeah, this is still a really hard, because in this part of the trick, you're essentially completely blind. What he's trying to do is go high enough to jump off and get inside this box where Snatcher is, and this box is actually the end of the level of the Snatcher boss fight. So if he can get this, he can completely skip having to do that, and then completely skip having to view the telescope cutscenes for this entire rest of the chapter. So it's very fast to get it first try like this.
Did I go over it? I hope I didn't.
No, I don't think you did.
Oh, let's see. Oh my god, I missed it completely. Yeah, it was over there.
Did you?
Yeah. Oops.
No, that's a different one. Oh wait, no. Oh
yeah,
no.
I went too much to the left. It's okay. I went too much to the right, yeah. The angle was pretty bad.
Unfortunate. Yeah, so it's a really, really hard trick that was actually found very recently to be faster. It wasn't faster, it's funny, because we actually knew about this strat for a really long time, since the 1.0 days of this game, but it was not faster because back in 1.0, Snatcher had a really fast quick kill. He still has one on this patch, but it's a lot slower than it used to be because it got patched out a bit. And it's funny because we didn't actually look at this till recently, but this strat's actually faster in more than one way. It's faster than just doing the fight normally, and it lets you skip cutscenes. So yeah, unfortunately, you'll have to do the toilet boss fight.
Yeah, we'll have to do Snatcher normally, but that's what the trick will look like if I got it. I just had to be aiming a little bit to the left. A little bit more to the left. On, like, my angle was wrong on, like... Wait, what am I...
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Alright, you'll have to improvise here.
I think I didn't get it. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no. Okay, so yeah, this boss, there's not really much to this boss either, except for the fact that when he does his cherry attack, he actually has a quick kill where if you are in a specific spot and then hold forward at the right time, you will actually be able to juggle him on your head off of the cherry and into a death flame.
Oh my god, I can't believe that worked.
Oh wow, that was really close, but you got him. Yeah, so you just juggle him on your head off the cherry, and for some reason, the toilet only has collision with the cherry when he does that attack, so if you happen to get him off, he hits a death plane. So another fun fact about this run is that they used older quick kill for this toilet, where we immediately killed him on his back with the graphics set and patch. And that's actually the strat we were doing before the 1.0 famous toilet quick kill was found. So we had to revert back to doing that.
Yeah, it's completely patched, and apparently it's impossible to replicate it too, so it's absolutely dead.
He will not ever die to lag anymore, unfortunately. It's a sad day.
We do have a $5 donation coming in from Bash Prime, who is one of the people responsible for your stream that you're watching right now, and says, which way to Subcon Well?
Subcon Way is this well?
Unfortunately, we don't get to see that guy in the run. He has been completely killed by me. Because we used to, before bag skip, even back in 1.0, before bag skip, we actually had to watch the bag cutscene and enter the Subcon Well through its actual level, but not anymore. Unfortunately, we don't see him anymore. So, Enhu actually just headed into the Manor, which is a really long, slow, and scary level. Fortunately for us, there's a little quirk about this level that allows us to completely bypass it. There is a hole in those barrels you can crawl through, and crawling through to it takes you to the end of the level. And it was actually put in there. It's funny because a lot of people think that was put in there because it was like a joke in the beta. Like, runners had to play the level and there's no skipping it. It was just a really slow, boring level they had to do. But it was actually just put in for people who couldn't stomach that kind of content because it was just too scary for some people. So now, to be before doing the finale of this, we're going to be doing the two rifts of this world, Type and Village, which are both two very, very fun rifts in my opinion.
Yeah, these are also my two favorite routes from like the whole base game.
I think Subcon Well has the best rifts out of any world, to be honest.
I agree.
Did I say Subcon Well?
But you just said, I think you said Subcon Well.
I said Subcon, dude. Subcon Well has the best riffs, and that there are no riffs at all in it. I don't know why I said Subcon Well.
Probably because of the last donation.
Oh yeah.
It was a good donation. It stuck in your mind.
Yeah. I mean, I know where the Subcon Well is now, dude.
speaking of that, folks, we are getting so close to $1,500. We're at $14.45 and 99 cents right now. For just $1. Everyone in the chat right now donates $1. You will get us over that $1,500 mark by a lot. And coming up, we have Silent Hill 2 Dog Ending is Dog, and we're just about $300 away. Help us out. $1 each gets us there.
All right, so now we're going to be doing Village. The entrance for this rift has actually a really cool strat that was only possible. I should also mention now, because this is another use case of the ice hat sliding mechanic. So the thing about that is, it actually wasn't added into the game until like post 1.0. I think it was modding patch, which was like the next major update that came out after 1.0. So we couldn't do cool strats like you just saw in 1.0. It's actually a really helpful and cool mechanic that's changed the run quite a bit. There's some really broken skips that you can do later on with this trick.
Yeah, also the entry for Village has, I think, the first TSJ on the run.
Yeah, that's the first use case of a TSJ where without it, it's very, very hard to get the height required to actually make it on top of the building. Yeah, right there, Enhu is going for a very fast cycle in this level. This is one level that actually has a pretty hard fast cycle to make, since the Dweller platform at the beginning is now a lot slower, because in patches later than 1.0 they actually made these bells here a lot slower to actually like expand.
Wow, okay. Apparently Village is my enemy today.
Dude, Village is the hardest level in the game.
Okay, that was interesting.
There's a small little skip here that you can do at the end, where if you get on this bell, you can completely bypass the section to the left and right you see. You can just jump right to the timepiece and grab it in midair. So now that the rifts are out of the way, we finally get to see Snatcher. Unfortunately, we're going to have to see him the normal way.
Yeah, and this fight, unfortunately, in the newer patch, is actually more than an auto-scroller than an actual fight.
Yeah,
it's pretty boring.
It's a lot less interesting than it was in 1.0.
Yes.
In 1.0, you could actually like get in a certain spot right now and just hit him immediately as this fight starts to speed up the fight, which Enhu's in the spot right now, and you can still hit him and it gives you like little red flashy effects, but it just doesn't do any damage. So you basically, what that would do is it would actually skip his attacks, but now you just have to wait them out. It's basically just an auto-scroller.
Yeah, as you can see, I cannot hit him. So this is actually a good time to read donations if you have more, because this is basically an auto-scroller.
Oh, good old auto-scrollers. Folks, if you're wondering what we're supporting here, this is Coronavirus Relief presented by Calithon. And it is all donations are going towards supporting Direct Relief, which is doing a bunch of work right now. 100% of your donations is going to go towards the charity. It goes right to all of this type of relief. And what they're doing right now, Direct Relief is coordinating with public health authorities, nonprofit organizations, and businesses in the U.S. and around the world to provide personal protective equipment and essential medical items to help workers responding to coronavirus. Every dollar you donate goes directly towards those efforts. We really appreciate all of your help that you're giving and all the support you're already doing towards Direct Relief. We're really close to $1,500. Get those donations in now. Help us. There are so many fun incentives and bid wars going on right now. The ever popular one is for Silent Hill 2, The Dog Ending. You want to see something really fun, get the donation in for that and check out The Dog Ending.
So yeah, now that Snatcher has been defeated, instead of it becoming an auto-scroller, it just becomes a do-nothing scroller.
Yeah.
Literally do nothing. You just sit here and wait. Very boring level.
More time just waiting around? Well then.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have some great polls if you want to donate. For Metal Gear Solid, we have Save or Kill Meryl, and right now Save Meryl is in the lead by quite a bit, 2-1. It's almost at $100. If you'd like to see that change, go ahead and donate now. And also we do have Super Metroid on Sunday evening for Save or Kill the Animals, and right now Kill the Animals is in the lead by a lot. So if you'd like to make sure the animals get killed in Super Metroid, get your donation in now. Let your voice be heard.
All right. Well, now that that's over, you get the first instance of crafting a purple rift relic on a relic pad. This is going to be the one for Subcon Forest, Sleepy Subcon. Unfortunately, due to the way these relic pads are, we have to do some backtracking for it, and this is just the best place to do it.
Yeah, pink rifts in this game are pretty crazy, but Sleepy and which other one?
Mafia of Cooks.
Mafia Cooks are not very interesting, but the other two are pretty interesting. Thanks to a lag mechanic.
I mean, there is something interesting about every purple rift that can happen in them.
Oh, true. I forgot about that. Oh no.
Yeah. So a really fun fact about this game is that in the 1.0 days, you didn't have to worry about it because it didn't exist. But post 1.0 days, we have to worry about the random chance of a crash in every single purple rift in the game. You can just crash in any room at any time for no apparent reason. And nobody even knows why it happens to this day. It has not been solved.
Yeah, it hasn't been solved yet, and it happens quite often, especially in ATP runs, because you have to do a lot of...
It happens more often in some than others. Like this purple rift tends to not crash. It's like I feel like it crashes the least out of any. I've only seen like one crash on this, and it was from you, unfortunately.
I think the one that I crashed the most is Alpine. That one is one of the ones.
Alpine tends to crash a lot. Yeah, these purple rift levels just has it where you go through room by room and you have to collect these yellow rift pawns, which you need a certain amount of in order to progress to the next room. And sometimes you'll collect more than you need because when you spend them to go to the next floor, you actually keep however many you have. There's a lot of interesting routing opportunities that you can do with that. Other than that, it's just pretty standard platforming. There's not really any tricks in this level that are that interesting.
Enhu, we have quite a bunch of support coming in for you right now. Ava Lee says he donates $5 simping for Enhu. And we also have Kishiko who donates $5 and says, "Let's go Enhu."
Thanks, Kishi. I love you. Okay. So.
Alright, no crash.
No crash.
We're in the clear for this one.
For now.
So one thing I don't think we've mentioned yet, but is prevalent throughout the entire run, is that at the end of every single time rift, there's a little roulette that plays. You can just completely skip that by going back to hub. You don't need to watch it. You did in 1.0, because if you try to go back to hub in 1.0 out of roulettes, you would completely softlock. The screen would turn dark and you would not be able to see until you closed the game and reopened it. So now we're on Alpine Skyline. Probably the biggest difference between any percent and all timepieces is that you actually get to see Alpine in its full glory.
Yeah,
best
and
chapter, by the way.
Yeah, this is the best chapter to speedrun, hands down.
There are a lot of interesting movement and tricks in every single one of the levels in this. Every single one of them are broken. And even this little intro here, which you're supposed to do before actually getting to the main world, has some interesting movement where you climb up on the scenery in order to get up the spiral tower faster than you should be able to just going up the normal way. Then coming up here is actually going to be an interesting skip. Once you hit all these dials closed, you take a zip line to the main part of Alpine and the intro is finished. So once you actually pass a certain point, the game sees the intro flag is checked, and it sees it that you've completed the intro. So what you can do, because the rest of the zipline ride is... I think that was too early.
No.
Oh no.
No. That was good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive that was good.
Yeah. But yeah, like when you go through that point, the screen turns white and you transition into the normal Alpine Skyline world. And then you have the rest of the zipline ride. If you return to hub and go back into the telescope, you can skip completely riding the rest of that zipline, which is actually really long. It says like 20 seconds or so. So now we're just going to be making our way to each of the 4 main islands.
Alright, so this is when we are gonna guess. I'm gonna let the chat guess how many times I'm gonna Enhu. Because
at least 6.
Because this world in particular has a lot of menuing with the ziplines.
Okay, we're good on that one. Also, now would be a good time to explain one of the most broken glitches we abuse in this world is the fact that when you're riding these ziplines, when you're at the end of them, your checkpoint gets set to that island, but if you take off your hook shot and put it back on, you actually get to leave the zipline early and it won't set your checkpoint. And what this means is you can go to these little islands which you only have, which like their only purpose is to like blow a horn or something, and then you can jump off to completely skip all of the backtracking and zipline rides you'd have to do otherwise. So, and we just blew the horn to unlock the main path to Birdhouse and just jumped off and didn't have to ride the zipline back, which is really slow. And coming up here is going to be an interesting skip that you can do on this island. Normally there'd be a short little gauntlet of platforming you'd have to do to get to the zipline that leads to Birdhouse. But there's actually the second use case of the TSJ right here, where you can do it off of this bush and just completely skip having to go around and do the platforming. And there's even more here where you can get on this box and get on this little house in the side of the mountain. Just climbing on the scenery to skip a lot of long platforming we'd have to do otherwise. So Enhu's going to take off his hookshot here so that he doesn't have to watch. Like, taking off your hookshot's even more important at the end of hookshots that lead to main islands, because it makes you watch a really long cutscene if you don't. And also right there is the first big skip that you use an SDJ for, where you just completely skip all of the Birdhouse by doing an SDJ across this gap, and you can just make it to the end where this big bird is. Yeah, there is a long cutscene you'll have to watch at the end of each main island zipline if you don't take it off. But that also means is your checkpoint doesn't get set, and some of these jumps can be pretty scary, so if you fail them, it's actually completely devastating to your run.
Yeah.
If you happen to die or fall off, you'll go all the way back to the previous island.
This is the reason why I'm not gonna talk as much in this particular world. Why it's actually one of the best worlds to speedrun. It's also one of the most punishable when you do a mistake. Like, you can lose minutes to a single mistake.
Yeah. So this is every single island in this world, while very broken, can also be very, very scary. This is probably one of the hardest worlds to do well, because there's just so many tricks and hard things you need to do in order to go fast. So the island that we're heading to right now is the lava cake, and the way you actually ascend the lava cake is really interesting. You'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna use invisibility frames a lot here. Basically.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna happen is we're going to basically damage boost our way through the entire level and skip all of the platforming that you need to or are expected to do. And this all works because when you take damage from lava, you get thrown up in the air, kind of like in Super Mario 64. But if you hit the lava again, when you're in your invincibility frames, it'll actually extend them. So as long as you can keep chaining your invincibility frames together, you can just remain invincible throughout your entire bounce up these portions of the cake. Okay, I think you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, these those damage boosts can be very scary, especially the last one, because if you don't go far forward enough, you will actually not be able to make it onto the rock there, and you will actually die and lose minutes. Yeah, mostly for these islands in between, though. There's just a lot of movement tricks that we do with the scenery that's placed about. Like on here, there's a completely different way it wants you to go, but you can just jump on top of this house, and then jump on top of this horn, and get to the horn that unlocks the zip line to the next part of Windmill.
Okay, so here comes another use of TSJ. In 90% we only use it twice, but in ATP and in other categories we use TSJs quite a lot. This is another instance of them. Hopefully I'm not gonna fail it.
Yeah, it's kind of the case with a lot of movement tech in this game. Like, it just doesn't get its chance to truly shine in any percent, especially like ice hat sliding, when in this category there's a lot more very useful use cases for them. So right here, Enhu's going to take off his hookshot checkpoint once again, because the only reason to come here is to blow a horn that leads to the windmill. So.
Okay, I never done that before.
Oh, now you got it.
That was interesting.
Solid backup. Yeah, now that this horn is blown, we can finally go to the Windmill Island. And funny thing about the Windmill Island, there used to be a massive skip to it where you would actually ride the windmill blade up, and they patched it, and then they unpatched it, and then they patched it again, and then they patched it to where it's in the really janky state it's in now, in that you can kind of still do the skip, but not in the way we did before.
Yeah, it's a similar skip, but not really.
It's similar in like what it accomplishes, but what actually happens is completely different. So basically what needs to happen here is Enhu needs to climb up to a certain portion of the windmill where the spinning, like the outside is exposed, and he can jump onto the spinning blades. But instead of riding them, which isn't possible anymore, the collision won't allow for it, he will get stuck inside of them, because for whatever reason, in the quote-unquote patch that they did for this, they made the windmill blade have collision, but it's very janky. But if you get stuck inside of it at a certain height, you can just completely zip up it and hit a death plane that just warps you up to the top of the windmill.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of things in this game. When you get stuck inside walls or things, you zip up, basically. Which we're gonna see another case of that in this level.
Yeah, this is going to be the final main island for Alpine, the Twilight Bell. There's a lot of this is probably honestly one of my favorite levels in this world. It has a lot of really interesting tricks and movement. I've always liked this level. Not a lot of other people have though.
I think it's probably my favorite one out of. Why did I do that? Okay, that was muscle memory. I was supposed to do another trick there.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, now you get more pawns. Just making sure that you can actually afford everything.
But it's okay.
Yeah, there's you there where, for whatever reason, one of the forms is actually solid when it should, and you can use it to just completely skip having on the bell, not the casual way.
There's another TSJ for that?
Yeah, if you do a TSJ here, you can get a ring on the bell off early, which just saves a little bit of time, movement optimization stuff. So the actual level of Twilight Bell is also really, really broken. There's a lot of geometry that you can get on that you probably shouldn't be able to, that you can use to completely skip sections of this level. Like down here, you can get onto this block here, and if you actually run off here, it completely bypasses two really long puzzles that you're expected to do in order to get to this point. And then for this is another example of the zip, where if you grab close enough to the wall, you'll actually be able to get stuck inside of it and get on top.
That was a good attempt.
Oh. Yeah, this level is also very broken. Every level in this world is broken.
Yep, everything is broken in this.
You could say that about the game, to be honest.
Alright, so
yeah, now that we've done...
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, sorry, you go.
Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so now that all 4 of the main islands are actually done, we're going to make a short trip back to Hub to do the Lab Rift. And we're also going to do this to make the Crayon Relic on this relic pad in the lab for the Alpine Purple Rift, which we need to complete before leaving. So, just the most convenient time to do this in this category. In other categories, you wouldn't make it there. You'd make it somewhere else, but here you make it there. And this is why we do lab here and not lab early, because you'd have to come back anyway to do that, to make that relic, and then go all the way back out.
Why does that happen? Oh, okay.
You're going for the turnip.
Yeah, I want to showcase this because it's very cool, but I've been having a lot of trouble with this lately.
It can be really finicky sometimes.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so this is another example of zipping up something. So what you do here is you do a movement tech called Turnip, where if you turn around, unlike the last few frames before Hatkid is about to walk off a ledge, she'll get a ledge grab at a ski to clip inside of things and zip up them like that. Very little use cases for it in pretty much every category, but it's still a really cool trick nonetheless. And the uses it does has saves a lot of time, so.
While we have a quick moment, we have a $5 donation from Keys, and it's a question for Enhu. It goes, can you please tell me a pickup line? It's for a project.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
You gotta give the people what they want.
I gotta think of one. This is a theme on my stream.
They did donate for it.
Yeah.
They did donate for it.
Oh, I'm gonna blame my girlfriend for this. This is her fault. Alright.
Yeah, this is time for the most scary Purple Rift of all, and not for the reason you think. It's for the reason mentioned earlier, in that it crashes so much levels when it comes to crashing. But it's also broken because it takes advantage of a variant of the movement tech we have. The ice hat sliding technique is actually used here, but a variant of it is used called lag shots, where if you use your ice hat and then lag the game the frame you start sliding, you'll continue to build up speed in the lag, and then that speed's actually enough to completely fly to the end of the stage. Since all of the Purple Rift levels are just boxes that are from each other, this is enough to where we can actually hit and just completely play the level.
Yeah, so that's what I was mentioning before with the two risks being pretty interesting, because you can basically skip more than half the level.
Yeah, the both of these lag shots save in, because especially in Alpine Rift, because just playing the level and getting all the rift pawns is really slow. Because for that rift, you can also skip having to get extra rift pawns that you normally would get. So the finale of the world is really interesting, because you have to go to all 3 of the main islands except for the Twilight Bell, and because of this, you go so far into each of the islands. Oh no.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, so what's going to is you're going to see a lot of use of the checkpoint glitch, where you just take off your hook shot at the near the end of a zip line, so it doesn't set your checkpoint, so that when you jump off, it actually sends you all the way back to the spawn. Unfortunately, you didn't get that first one, but that's okay. You can still do it for the rest of them if you fail it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna respawn. Not at the beginning, but I'm gonna respawn at the end of the beginning of that zipline. No.
The biggest worry for this is actually falling in between, because if you were to fall, say, right by this flower, you would lose an ungodly amount of time. Because you would go all the way back to the last checkpoint you set, and if that's at spawn, you have to go all the way back, which is not a good thing at all. Fortunately, most of this movement here is simple enough to where that's not usually a concern, but it can happen. I've had it happen before. So yeah, if this just shows what happens if you fail that. If you fail that, you just got to take the zip line back and just do the movement normally to get back to spawn. Fortunately, since you took the zip line back, your checkpoint is now set to the main island. So if you get the rest of the hook shot removed glitches, you can just keep it there. Which only really matters for this second island, because for the last island you don't need to do it because it ends there anyways. Yeah, the goal of this level is to go to the very end of these three islands and kill these three flowers that are causing the illness. And these are sections of the level you wouldn't really be able to get to normally otherwise. They're pretty much designed just for this this act. Yeah, now that the second flower is out of the way, there's not really much to worry about when it comes to falling or dying. Since if you die, your checkpoint's just wherever, because you don't need to remove your hook shot anymore for the rest of the level.
Yeah, now we're safe for the rest of the level, unless I happen to die, which I don't think is gonna happen, but you never know.
Could happen.
It already happened before in the past, so.
Shoutouts to a spider bounce strat. Not even like a noteworthy or like hard strat or anything. Just a cool strat for people like shouting out. Shoutouts to spider bounce.
Shoutouts to spiders in this game.
And while we're doing shout out, all the Hat in Time to chat right now here support this run, and thank you all for being here. We have it on right now if you're interested at all in some donation incentives. We have less than 2 hours left on the Silent Hill 2 dog ending incentive. It needs $500. We're at 123 right now. If everyone gets their donations in here in the next 2 hours, we will see Silent Hill 2 dog ending. You don't want to miss it. It's a lot of fun. Get those donations in now.
So I got the box light at the end. I didn't feel that.
Oh, I didn't get to see my stream lagged. I didn't get to see it, but did you get it? Okay, that's a PogChamp moment right there. So now that the finale for this level is done, there's still some things to do before we leave Alpine and head to battle the birds.
World, hands down.
It is the worst world. Don't at me, anyone. But yeah, there's two more things to do here. Two of the funny, they actually kind of messed the riffs on this patch. They don't appear in the telescope, so you don't have to watch their animations. It's actually funny because it saves time. The rift spawning animation usually takes 3 seconds. It doesn't happen because the rifts just don't even appear in the telescope, but they're there fully. If they weren't there, we wouldn't be able to do the run, but they're still there. It's actually funny. There's a lot of things on this patch that we figured out is not really working. Thankfully, those rifts are there. We got the better end of the deal on that one. Death Wish, unfortunately, on this patch did not get the better end of the deal. It actually got the worst end of the deal. Death Wish is actually uncompletable on this patch because some of the objectives in it just won't give you the thing active. That's a fun thing with.
Yeah, and it's one of the too because especially for one category in particular, this patch will be super fast, which is 110.
And here's the short little interlude here with Mustache Girl, where you play as her for like 2 seconds, open up and break your own timepieces, and then that's it. She destroys the world. And then you just completely ignore it and go back to collecting timepieces. World ending event, nothing to worry about.
We're not done yet. A couple timepieces to go.
And Enhu, you forgot Curly Tail Trail.
I am actually. Thank you for reminding me. My brain right now is not working apparently.
You forgot a level, brother.
That was gonna be bad if I forgot it.
Really confused for a second.
Thank you for reminding.
My brain too. You forgot a level.
You know what is that? That is the muscle memory for I think it's 110. Because when you get that cutscene, you're supposed to leave. And since I haven't done this very recently, I think my brain was like, okay, so I have to leave.
Okay, yeah, now we're back on track. Curly Tail Trail is one of the shortest and probably hardest rifts. Because you have to do, optimally, to do it fast, you need a momentum STJ, which is where you STJ off of a very small platform. And the reason it's hard is because STJs in this game, you actually can't do them off of ledges, you have to do them while on solid ground. So you basically have to perfectly space and time your jump so that you actually get the STJ when you're like in the middle of the platform, otherwise it just won't work. Thankfully, it's actually more forgiving on this patch compared to 1.0, because on 1.0, you had to do it. We really didn't get the ice hat in this chapter on that route, so you had to do this trick right here, otherwise you will to complete the level. On this route, ice hat by this point, so if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Something that makes learning the category a lot easier.
We have a $10 donation from Konosume, and it says, a hat in time, all timepieces with zip strats? Heck yeah! Wish you the best for the remainder of the run, Enhu. It is always fun to witness your skill. Shoutouts to the Calithon running it, another fantastic for a wonderful cause in these tough times. Thank you so much, Konosume.
Thanks, Kona.
Hey, Kona, and thank you. Alright. So now we're gonna enter Battle of the Birds, because we actually finished Alpine. We didn't forget a timepiece, and now we can actually do this world that I personally hate a lot.
I personally hate it a lot too, so you are not alone in that. It has some cool levels. This level is really cool. Another really cool use of the ice hat slingshot here.
This level is not bad, but there are a couple levels. You will know which one in particular. A lot of people in the chat will probably know which one I'm referring to. Which two, actually, we're referring to.
Two. I'd say there's more than one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more than one too, but there are two in particular that I personally hate, and I think a lot of people hate too.
So yeah, this is just a really fast-paced, movement-based level. Very hard as well. He didn't get caught by the guy at the end, which has a very, very high detection rate. He can just catch you and ruin your day very easily. Yeah, right now, pretty much it's just mashing and waiting on a cutscene. Yeah, getting caught by that guy loses you like 20 seconds. He's not fun to get caught by.
Perfect time to thank everyone here for Calithon coronavirus relief. We are really close. We're getting so close to $1,500. All of the money you donate today is going to support the efforts of Direct Relief. And if you're not familiar with Direct Relief, 100% of your donation goes actually towards the charity's efforts and what they're doing. And in the U.S. right now, they're delivering protective masks, exam gloves, isolation gowns, all that kind of personal protective equipment that healthcare people need right now. So get those donations in, and thank you for supporting and helping such a great cause.
Yeah, so this is picture perfect. There's not really much to this level. What you do is you go around and get diva points by going and saying hi to people or getting your picture taken. And after you get so many, you just get the timepiece because you achieve max diva status. There is a cool little strat right here where you die boost off the roof and prepare a potion to throw out this dog. And if you actually throw it at just the right time, you can hit him and skip having to climb up and...
Yeah, unfortunately, I completely failed. I overshot the potion, but it's fine.
It's actually pretty costly to lose too, or to fail that too, because if you happen to fail it in a certain way, like if you're slow enough, it'll actually take a really long time to get max diva, as opposed, since if the counter stops, it has to start again. But if it's going and you get the last point you need, it just instantly gives you max diva. So this level coming up here is probably going to be the biggest and most broken use of the lag clip trick that was found. So previously, we went through this whole level. There's the first half, a second half, and you can just completely skip the first half. Well, now you can completely skip like the entire level. Lag clipping on this trash can here. And this one's actually hard to do too, because this trash can is not very cooperative.
Traveling with this, but it's fine. Yeah, this trash can is not very cooperative right now. I got it first try all the times that I practiced of playing, but apparently, oh, there we go.
So yeah, once you get the lag clip on this trash can, you actually can climb on 2 boxes out of bounds. Clip back into this button. Now normally there's a massive invisible wall there that prevents you from going up here early before you play the first half of the level. But now that we can just get above the wall, we don't have to worry about it. And then you hit that wall and the rest of the level continues as normal. You don't have to worry about anything. You basically an entire half of this. Saves a ton of time. This is probably one of like the biggest time saves on this level that's been found in a while in this game.
This saves like I think close to 50 seconds, more than 45.
Yeah, at least 50. Like it saves a ton of time.
And also, thanks to our recent discovery, well, not recent discovery, but recent allow trick, now I don't have to do anything in this level from now on. All I have to do is press one button and...
Yeah, so funny little glitch in this game. If you go to bind your controls and you bind the scroll wheel to one of your menu functions, it actually makes it so you can just hold down your mouse button and it'll automatically match the text. Because this game is very good. And it works because of a really stupid reason, in that in the control, it identifies the mouse wheel as above 255. Well, the way the game engine handles inputs above 255 is that it doesn't handle it. It just gives up and just says, I'm just going to mash it everything.
Can every game please have that?
It will be pretty nice.
The game just it gives up.
So yeah, every time you smash a text box, well, it's basically just holding down this button for the most part.
Definitely one of the weirdest bugs in this game.
Alright, so this is one of my most hated levels, even though a lot of people love it, and I think Doka also hates it a lot.
I hate this level so much.
So we are
It used to be named that in my splits.
We are two brothers in this. We hate this level a lot because memory is basic.
So many chokes. It's really hard to do because I actually play this game on keyboard. It's really hard to do on keyboard. And it's really punishing to make mistakes on in general. But there is a cool strat here where you can actually land on one of these platforms as they move. He got it. You can actually land on those while they're moving. They move really fast. It's actually pretty hard, precise to get. But at least it lets you skip having to do that casually. The rest of this is just really fast-paced movement with little mini tasks you have to do, like hitting all these panels. See more of that in a second. And avoiding these cake bombs and fire bars. Yeah, pretty solid ending.
Yeah, that was actually not bad ending.
Also, don't forget to do, I don't know if like this, forget to do a Moto Rift.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I have it after.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. Apparently I needed it or not fine.
Yeah. This is probably one of the worst rifts in the game, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think Battle of the Birds has the worst time rifts in this game. This time, basically just an auto, so you're waiting on cycles all the time.
I don't think the moon is that bad, but this one is.
Okay, yeah, the moon isn't bad. I'd say it's a solid rift, but this is probably the worst time rift in the
this one
game.
is the worst. At least
It's
from
not
the
very fun to do.
at least from the base game. We're not counting DLCs here.
Ooh,
We're not counting
DLCs
DLCs.
are a different story when it comes to which rift is the worst. For sure.
For sure, especially one DLC in particular.
Yeah, we're basically waiting on these gear cycles at the end. So even if you get here a lot faster than you would normally, you still have to wait. It's basically just an auto-scroller. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so we're gonna have 4 minutes of our scroller, so you can get a lot of donations coming here.
Oh yeah, the next
Folks,
level...
this is your time.
This next level is a really big fan favorite when it comes to the run in general. Fun fact, we actually used to do this level in any percent at one point.
Oh god,
And it's a 4-minute auto-scroller.
don't make me remember that.
No more fun than a 4-minute auto-scroller in an 80%
Yeah,
run.
absolutely.
With that being said, Enhu and Doka are asking folks, get those donations in. This is a perfect time to do it. We have more minutes of auto scroll happening. In case you're wondering, we've got still quite a bit going on. We're just 1 hour and 45 minutes away from Silent Hill 2 Dog Ending being a donation incentive that'll be complete. Right now we're at $123. Thank you so much for getting us there. We want to get to $500. You want to see this dog ending run. I promise you, I've seen it before. It is so much fun. You want to get the donations in to help you there. We also have some polls or some other donation incentives. If you want to save or kill the animals on Sunday night for the Super Metroid run, please feel free to donate towards that. Kill the animals is ahead by a lot. But if you want to save the animals, this is your chance to make it, have a big comeback. And then also for the Metal Gear Solid run coming up, we have Save or Kill Meryl and Save Meryl. Save Meryl is ahead by quite a bit. So here's your chance. Get the donations in. All of the donations, 100%. Every single dollar you donate is going towards direct relief. We are almost at $1,500. You can make that happen during this run, folks. Help us out. Get us there.
I can see the chat is kind of going crazy with the infamous Big Parade copy pasta. Shoutouts to that copy pasta, an integral part of our community.
So yeah, besides being a complete 4-minute auto-scroller, it has a couple interesting tricks. Well, interesting. I'm not gonna do one of those, which is what we call parade death, because I don't want to replay this level just in case. In case I fail it. But there's a death that you can do at the end, so you can respawn. You don't have to watch the cutscene or telescope of like the moon rift spawning. And another trick that we do here is the same thing that we did here in Mafia Town. We're just gonna save our spot over there, and we are just gonna basically be on the ropes, which are, I think, not safe spots. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, the tightrope.
Yeah, the tightropes. Not safe spots. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna respawn all the way to the other side. But for now, we're just gonna have to wait. So you can keep the donations coming if someone donates something.
Or you can keep copying and pasting in the chat. Please
Yeah,
feel free.
that too, because we're gonna have to wait here for a
Big
couple.
Parade copy pasta.
It is your support, folks. Trust me. We all appreciate you're all showing the support for the marathon and Enhu and Doka right now. It's great.
You know, my personal favorite part about this level is that if you happen to die, you have to do the entire section over again.
Yep.
So as if it wasn't already bad enough, if you happen to make a mistake that would make you die, have fun playing the entire thing over again and just waiting more.
And
That
that's
sounds so painful.
Yep, and that's the reason why I'm not. There's the death threat that you can do at the end, but I'm not gonna do it just in case, because it only saves.
It just so happens that there is a strat at the end that does take advantage of that. That saves like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But if you miss it, you have to wait a long time.
Well, we do have a couple other donation incentives, folks, if you are interested. The Silent Hill Homecoming, we have 3 hours left of the Wear Pyramid Head Helmet. Not familiar with the game, but that incentive sounds fun, so feel free to get your donations in for that. And we also have a 007 Nightfire Drake run, which is really awesome as well. Donate towards that if you'd like to right now. That only has $25 towards it right now, and its goal is $250, so get those donations and help out there.
And it is finally. Oh no! Okay, it's finally over.
We made it.
Okay, so the suffering is
Thankfully.
over.
We're still in one piece here.
Yeah, the suffering is over, and now we can keep going with actually interesting levels. You're gonna have to re-enter it though, but don't worry, we're not gonna redo it.
Yeah, we're not gonna redo it.
Yeah, don't.
We're gonna play an actual good level. Don't worry.
I don't know about that, but you're not gonna.
It's a solid level.
It's a solid
It's a
level.
solid like 6 or 7 out of 10, I'd say. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm being too hard on this riff. I think it's pretty good.
I think it's okay. It's not that terrible. I'm not gonna do cookie.
It has interesting movement and skips.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can just get on this fence and completely bypass the first part of the level. And then you can bypass the second part of the level by getting up here and SDJing across this wide gap. Just enough distance to make it. And now we're basically at the end of the level. Which also has a skip to it. Where you can get over this wall. Okay. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty short level. One of the reasons why we did it in any percent, because the two for completing this are very, very fast. A 46-second level, even shorter if you do the death strat, and then a 10-second level.
One of the hardest level in the game.
The hardest level, and it's probably the hardest level in this game, yeah.
Definitely the hardest level in the game. So yeah, this was the reason why Parade was in the run, because of these 2 levels in particular. They were really fast.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's a very big
A very, very big unfortunate.
Thankfully, the toilet quick kill, the lag one on 1.0 is down, and the route actually got good. Yeah, now that that's done, we answer the phone to trigger the actual real finale event to happen, and we take a trip to the gallery to make the Battle of the Birds relic on this pad here. And then do the gallery rift before doing the Birds finale. This is another pretty top tier rift, I'd say. This is a really fun one to do.
Oh, this is one of my favorite rifts, in my opinion. At least, to do fast.
There's a ton of different, there's a lot of different hard movement that you can do. There's so many different routes you can take for it.
Okay.
As you progressively get better. Which is why I think it's one of the most interesting.
Should I say Spider Bounce?
Shout out to Spider Bounce.
Alright, so this level in particular has quite a lot of skips.
Yeah, so this is Battle of the Birds finale, which you enter by just going back into the regular Battle of the Birds after you answer from guys on the phone, and they tell you that the award was rigged and you have to go put a stop to what's happening because they have a timepiece. Well, we're going to be doing that.
Yeah, but in a very different way that it's supposed to be done.
That's a common theme in this game. It's different than it's supposed to be done.
And getting closer to this, folks, we are only $35 away from $1,500 total raised for this event. If you can we get there? Can we get to $1,500 by the end of Enhu's run here? Can we do it? $35 away.
Yes, we can.
I believe.
Okay, so this is another instance of a lag button right here.
Yep, we lag clip out right here. And it's funny because there's a lot of actually talk about on stage. First off, here at the beginning, it used to be like 50 seconds long, but it's not anymore. Second of all, there used to be a skip where you got out of bounds in a similar part of the stage that you didn't have to do any tricks for. It was patched, but then we found this, which you can do on all versions now.
Yeah.
And it's
So this is a skip that we found recently. You can actually do it on all versions. In this version, we used to do it with Boop, but since we added since the additional lag button, it's actually way faster to do this, and also, in my opinion, easier. Slightly.
Yeah, that's funny because even when we did this skip with Boop, when we were doing the calculations for like if it would be faster to do on this patch, the elevator ride alone made it faster on this patch. Like, it's crazy how much of a difference that makes. And then the fact that we were actually able to get out of bounds and still do the skip in some way is it's still just as fast. There's an attempt to patch it. And it's actually really straight because if you fall at any point when you're out of bounds, you soft lock and you have to go back.
Yeah, that's the scariest part about this trick. So we're gonna fight groups, but we're not gonna fight him entirely. We're actually gonna beat him in a very interesting way.
In a very hat in time way.
Yeah.
AKA with lag, because lag is just the end all be all in this game.
In this game, yes, it is.
Because what he's looking for is a certain attack to do it on. Let's see. It looks like he got good RNG. So what you do is if you know he's going to do a certain attack, which is the knife attack, the like JoJo one, you lag him right after you hit him, and he falls to the floor, and much like the other bosses, hits a death plane and dies in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I have
normally
to wait here a little bit.
Yeah, normally this fight is very, very long. It's like 4.5 minutes actually, so this saves a lot of time. Or like not 4.5 minutes, but like you'd finish it like 4.5 minutes, I think. Either way, it's very long, very slow, and very boring because the boss wasn't really engaging or difficult. But you can just leg him under the floor.
And yeah, he's gone. I think this was one of the best quick kills that we discovered.
Yeah, originally, there's been so many quick kills for those guys. The first quick we did on Conductor is like you actually got out of bounds and went up and just hit him because he took 100 hits. So you go up and hit him 100 times and then fell down for like 30 seconds, and then that was fun and that was good and fun and all. They patched that. Then there was the disco ball lag quick kill, which we could still do on any patch, but was really slow because it took a long time. But then I think Fuff found out that if you do it on that certain knife attack, instead of taking like 2.5 minutes to fall and die, he takes like 20 seconds.
Yeah, the old quick kill for Conductor, or I think it was Conductor, was, in my opinion, one of the worst quick kills we had in this game.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, here you're going to see another instance of the leg shot tech. And it's very broken in this riff. As you can pretty much skip the entire thing. It just skips you to the last room in the second room. So let's see if he can get that to happen. There we go.
Alright.
Yeah, now we're in the last room of the rift, and we can just, since we already have the 2 pawns from the first room, it's actually really fast because we only need 2 more. You only need 4 to open this pipe at the end here.
Some really
how are we
good
looking on pawns? Okay, yeah, you are rich, my friend.
I think
you don't even get any of them.
Nope, I don't even need to.
You need to get like 8 more.
Alright, so we're gonna attack the cooking cat now because we need the relic, but before that, we're gonna do this.
Here's a fun thing to explain. Cooking cat softlock. So, introduced on DLC 1 patch, there's a really strange bug where if you talk to Cooking Cat and got the relic with the skippable cutscenes option on, you would completely softlock. You get stuck there with no way to get out. And it's funny because it actually was not fixed for a very, very long time, despite being like reported numerous times. Like it was introduced on DLC 1.1, which came out in like 20 fixed in like I think the patch right after this one, which happened like a year later.
Yeah, it was fixed very recently, but
It was a very long-standing and annoying bug that we've had to deal with. So now it's time for one of the most scary levels. Again, not for the reason you're thinking, probably. It's not actually a hard level, but if you crash on this level, it can really ruin your day.
yep, especially because it's at the end of the run.
And especially because it's one of the more known to crash Purple Rift.
You know what's funny is that I actually never crashed on difficulty so far.
I feel like it crashes less often on 2.1 than it did on like modding.
Now that I say that, it's probably gonna crash, but
it's gonna crash. It would be so funny. It'd be so funny.
Please, I'm actually hoping that it crashes now. After I said that. Oh no.
You can't say those things out loud, man. Okay.
Yeah. That was a mistake, but hopefully we are close to the end.
Okay, my feed actually froze for a second. I actually thought it crashed, and I was about to burst out in laughter.
Oh,
Thankfully, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're good.
It is still good. Everything is still going great.
It can still crash, but it's that room in particular that crashes more than every other room. With the meat roller guys.
Yeah, usually people crash when they're entering the room, so I thought I was gonna be safe, but you never know.
Yeah, so now all we have left is cheating the race and finale. And cheating the race is really interesting for someone who's never seen a run before because, as you might know, or might not, we actually quote-unquote required items that the game wants us to have to beat it. All we have is our sprint hat and our moveset. And you can actually completely just destroy this guy with really good movement without the time stop hat or the scooter or whatever you'd have to normally be able to complete this. You're going to be able to see a lot of momentum with dive boosts.
We're gonna see also. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, commentators curse my.
That was really interesting.
Oh no! That was.
You know what?
Really
What the funniest part is? I was practicing CTR the other day, and I did it hatless and like no jumps. But then I failed it with like sprint hat. So that's pretty. That's pretty cool.
That's I shouldn't have said anything.
Yep. That was a curse right there.
I'll take the fall for that one.
Alright, we're good this one.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
So that was pretty interesting. Failing CTR for top players is quite the taboo, I would say. So.
Never gonna hear the end of it for that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my friend.
No worries, just like hundreds of people watching, you know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Marathon, you're all good.
It's fine, no worries. Oh no. Okay.
So yeah, here's the last important use case for the TSJ. You use it to get over this big gate without having to solve that little puzzle with the hats that basically just checks if you have them all. You can just TSJ over the gate and completely ignore that. Fun fact, they actually raised the height of that gate. In 1.0 you could actually make it over with a normal jump, but it was raised in modding patch and above. Like the first major update it was raised, but you can still get over it.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, we went past my PB a little bit before, so yeah, this one is flawless.
Very good, very good. And also, people who may be returning viewers may also remember that there's a very big skip to this level where you go out of bounds and surf on the roof across the entire stage. That's been long since patched. We actually have to play the level now. But it's actually gotten so optimized to the point where people thought, like, back in the day that finale skip was, like, the biggest skip in the game and saved, like, 30 to 40 seconds. Well, it's actually gotten to the point where it's only, like, I think 12, 13 seconds faster than doing it, like, normally.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not the biggest skip in the game.
It's been super optimized thanks to any person having to play on patch 2.1 now.
Yeah, it definitely helped it get down to where it is now. There's a lot of really hard strats you can do in this gauntlet. There's also one thing to take note of is Enhu's health. He's actually going to refrain from picking up any health pawns, because there's actually a trick at the end in this boss fight that saves 13 seconds, where you need to be on 1 health and then kill the boss's first phase on at the exact same time that you die. So you basically just kill each other at the same time, and it skips an entire like little cutscene portion of the fight you have to watch, saving a lot of time. Unfortunately, it is RNG, and you can get denied this RNG in multiple ways depending on how it happens. So it's a very RNG heavy trick that saves double-digit amounts of time at the end of a run. It's very fun. Everyone loves it so much.
And as we head towards the run, and if you want to show your support, this is your last chance to get donations in now. We're almost at $1,500. You're going to support the runners here. You're going to support a great cause in direct relief efforts for coronavirus relief.
So this is the Mustache Girl fight. She takes 5 hits to defeat for this phase. So Enhu's going to try and hit her 4 times and then hit a specific set.
That is unfortunate.
Oh, he got the RNG, like the one attack where it basically denies you. So if you get that attack, you actually just can't do it. Like you can, but it loses a little bit of time. So unfortunately, he got unlucky. There are 2 out of the like 5 attacks, I think, that like there are 2 attacks out of the 5 that you can actually have worked. The torpedo attack and the slap attack. Anything else, and you'll have to wait. And if you get time pieces, it just your run is probably over. It just loses so much time.
Oh yeah, this fight is also known as the bitrate fight. So sorry for sorry for the viewers, but this is a mess.
this fight kills streams because there's so much happening. Yeah, for this fight, it's basically just you try and hit her as soon as possible, and you want to play close to the center of the arena, since there are attacks where she always goes back to the center or close to it. So you just play close to the center and hit her as soon as possible. You can use the Brewer hat to snipe her out of the air a bit. Now we're in Cherry Phase, an infamous fan favorite for RNG. So there's a lot of RNG that goes into Cherry Phase. The attack order you get, if you get any double hits, how many cherries you actually get, but Cherry Phase can lose you a lot of time, probably up to 30 seconds alone. And that's not even counting like the 13 that you can save from the trick called Slapsy, where you die at the same time as you kill the boss. So yeah, this level has an enormous amount of RNG, the most in the run. And because of that, it's an absolute fan favorite, as you may have guessed. Yeah, now that he's finished Cherry Phase, all that's left is Final Phase. You can't really die here, so the run's pretty much over at this point. All he has to do is finish it off, unless you get the Fable V, which is a I want to explain that before it's over. It's a bug that you can have happen with Mustache Girl, where she leaves the arena to never return. And she actually falls out of the whirl and dies, but it actually doesn't end the fight. You are stuck in purgatory. And if that happens, your run is actually dead. It just kills your run. And it's funny, because recently we figured out one of the causes of it, but sometimes it can still just happen. But usually...
Alright, and time's coming up, and time. Wow, not even 121, but it's okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, so
122 is solid.
I would say it's solid for a marathon. Yeah, I did quite a bit of mistakes, and I tried to go for this Nature showcase thing, but unfortunately I failed it. But yeah, this was ATP base level. It's actually, in my opinion, probably my second favorite category in this game, and it's criminally underrated. I feel like a lot of people should play this more. I've seen a lot of people actually pick it up on this more, which makes me really happy. But I wish more runners actually played this.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to gain traction. It's finally getting the attention it deserves, because I would agree it's a really, really good category. I like it more than any %.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think every category in this game is in a really good state right now in terms of like playability and how easy it is to learn it.
So yeah, this was a Hat in Time. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Most of the people in the chat though are from the Hat community, but for anyone who doesn't play the game, we are actually very welcoming in the Boop Troop. We are a pretty wholesome community. We always welcome new players that want to try the game and stuff. We have a lot of guides and we have a lot of people helping in the server as well. So if anyone wants to join the server and start running this game, don't hesitate to join the Boop Troop.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Thank you, Enhu, for such a really fun run, and thank you, Doka, for such great commentary and insight into the game. What a run, folks. Show your support in the chat for Enhu and commentary by Doka. What a great run of A Hat in Time. All timepieces base game. And that is going to be it for them. And that is going to be it for myself, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep going with this marathon. We are just getting, the night is still young, folks. We have quite a bit coming up here still on the schedule. So hope you get comfortable. If you're on a couch, if you're doing whatever, try to stay comfortable and watch the rest of them. We got Super Meat Boy coming up next with Shredberg. Later on, we have Kirby's Dream Land, Alien vs. Predator, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill Homecoming, Metal Gear Solid,